He asked him, he said, do you want to be my lover?
oh, Graham. I thought... He's stealing me puns off me now.
Can we pack that in? There's some serious business going on here.
We are almost underway then here at Craven Park. It's going to be Raiders in their home kit. Their blue shirt, blue socks and the blue shorts, of course, with the white V across the chest. Kicking off towards Whitehaven, who will be attacking from left to right. And it's going to be Whitehaven with the first attack of the afternoon.
Lucas Castle is the man to fetch it forward for Whitehaven. He bounced just in front of Jay Carter, bounced kindly, but obviously slowed the momentum, and Castle was brought down just short of his own 20. Newton in a dummy half. It's now Mac Walsh in off the wing berth to try and help his side forwards, but he's pushed back by 3, maybe 4 Barrow Raiders defenders, and actually lost yards there. Newton once more in at dummy half. Ross Ainley is now the man to fetch it forward for Whitehaven. The former Kells man's wrapped up 23 metres out in its centre field. Curtis Tier in its second row this afternoon once more is the former Wafbrow and Workington Town man. He's been picked up and dumped on his own 30. Newton going to come across. Carter's going to look for the early kick, going to try and get behind Ryan Shaw here, but Shaw's able to collect on the full. The Raiders will bring it 25 metres away from their own line.
Yeah, first attack for the Raiders then, starting with Ryan Shaw, who takes that one on the full. One thing we can't really feel up here is the wind down there. We look over at the flags. I think the flags actually blew off one of the poles at Craven Park, but it is quite windy this afternoon. And a short kick from Jake Carter, a man you're very familiar with as well, Graham, is Carter, and he's going to play a pivotal part this afternoon.
Yeah, I spent some time with him on Friday afternoon, and he's really, really looking forward to the game, as you can imagine.
Knock on here by the Raiders. James Greenwood guilty of knocking the ball on by trying to get up and play on the ball. It's going to be a scrum down, head and feet to Haven. First mistake. Haven will be looking to take advantage.
Yeah, big mistake that from the Raiders, just inside their own half as well. 2 minutes on the clock here, still remains scoreless, but it's going to be a prime position for Whitehaven to go in now.
Whitehaven will feed the scrum just over halfway in its centre field. 5 over halfway here on BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online. Hannigan feeds the scrum, Newton out the back and comes down this short right hand side into the hands of the Welsh international Will Evans, and it's Tolan Greenwood looking to try and make amends for that mistake, and it's now with Dean Gebby, the Papua New Guinean, who'll look to fetch it forward for Whitehaven. 35 metres out, Newton in there at dummy half, looking to come down this short side once more into the hands of Hannigan. Wrapped up is Hannigan, Gillam, Greenwood, Johnson all involved as well in that tackle. 23 metres out now of Whitehaven. McCarran is now the man to fetch it forward, makes more metres laterally than forward does McCarran. 20 metres out, in line with the right hand side post. Newton goes left into the hands of Castle, just have to wait for it. Carter looking to go across to Curtis Tier, potentially had numbers out the back if they went for it. Did Whitehaven, had a 3-on-2 overlap. However, it's now the 5 and last. Tier plays the ball, going to look to go down that short side once more. Carter looks to get it across to Joey Romeo, and Whitehaven, well, I was going to say they were quite happy just to hand the ball over there. Romeo did lose it in contact, but it's still the 5 and last. The Raiders will make 3 or 4 extra metres by playing it on 10 metres out from their own line.
Yeah, back to a 10 metre restart for the Raiders. 90 metres downfield against the wind to go. They just need to make sure they at least get through the first 3-4 tackles of this set. I mean, Graham, plenty of experiences in games like this, big major rivalries at any level always makes a big difference, and a wet surface this afternoon as well. I mean, where do you think, in terms of the way the games need to start, as the sun and the pitch dries out, what do you think needs to happen here?
Initially now, I mean, it'll be a greasy surface, and I'd be inclined to slide the ball off my foot along the floor and get them to pick it up, which will be tricky, but both sides will be looking to try and complete as high as they can, because let's say either side's capable of taking advantage of any piggybacks that they're given, you know. Ellis
Gillam then up towards the 40 for the Raiders, and the ball's been lost once again from Barrow in the same spot they lost it just a few moments ago. So it's going to be Whitehaven back in possession just inside the Raiders half. Ryan Brown, the dual edge man, lost it up on contact. McCannon collected, 0 tackle, no scrum down. Curtis Tier takes the first tackle just short of the Raiders 40. Newton goes left into the hands of Callum Shaw, in off the wing trying to take his side forward here, round sort of 15 metres from that far touchline. Newton lining weight at dummy half, comes into the hands then of Hugh Worthington. Worthington put down 28 or so metres out, in line with the left hand side post, attacking left to right of Whitehaven from our position in the main stand. At the back of the main stand here at Craven Park, the former Raider Jake Carter fetches the ball forward. He's taken down now 15 metres out, comes back towards the middle with Hannigan. Hannigan obviously up once and twice, runs across the line, now finds Romeo, looks to put a kick in behind. Will Evans is trying to get there, and Dean Gebby's trying to get there, and he's got the ball down in the right hand side corner, has the Papua New Guinean.
Grahame Dale said they needed to put the kick in and get it behind the back. It's the Papua New Guinean 7th try of the season. Haven take an early lead here at Craven Park. It's Raiders 0, Haven 4.
Great kick. I mean, that just sums it up. You know, you get near to the line and he just put that ball into space behind it and managed to regather and score. Nice. And even if there was a Raiders player there, it's hard to pick up when the ball's running end over end like it was. So, Haven take the lead.
Great start, wasn't it? It was almost like they could exactly hear just what you were saying just a few moments ago, Graham. It's a wet surface. The pitch is notoriously rock hard here at Craven Park. It's looking like a summer pitch at the moment, but it's still on that surface. It's very, very wet, very, very tricky. You've got to handle these situations as best as you can. Whitehaven handled that situation right. Gebby certainly handled that situation right. He's gone down for yet another try, and 5 minutes on the clock now here at Craven Park. It's Raiders 0, Whitehaven 4 with that kick to come.
Lachlan Hannigan looking to line up the conversion. You can hear the Whitehaven fans who are situated behind them sticks in the first half just getting the chorus of Uchiwawa going, and imagine, no doubt we'll hear the Raiders response if the Raiders are able to get over for a 4-pointer. But this is BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. Hannigan lines up the conversion. He's a metre in from the touchline. He's going to come on it right footed, 24 metres on the straight. Lachlan Hannigan, and it's going to fall quite wide of the near post, so it remains here at Craven Park. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Raiders 0, Haven 4.
Yeah, so the Raiders are going to have to kick this ball off, try and get as far up the pitch as they can and hold Whitehaven there and try and force the mistake and get some field position like they have. They did really well to take the try as they did, but they were given the ball in prime position, you know.
Twice.
Yeah,
so which Paul Crady will not be happy with.
A sign of the conditions as well, I think, wasn't it? Losing the ball in contact 2 sets in a row. As the ball kicks up short from kick-off, it's going to bobble around and it's gone back into Whitehaven hands.
Callum Shaw was the man to collect it. Sort of got a curve on it there at the last minute from Ryan Shaw. Callum Shaw had to be alive to it, plays the ball 18 metres out, and now Mac Walsh will be the man to fetch it forward here, and he's going to be taken down 25 metres out, centre field. Is the loanee from Toulouse Olympique, the former Kells man. Ross Ainley fetches it forward now. He's trying to get a fast play of the ball, but the Raiders are dominant in the tackle. Goes left now from dummy half into the hands of Lucas Castle. Castle finds his front, 8 short of halfway. Newton, dummy half, scoots, then finds Hugh Worthington, and the Welshman will looking to get his arm 3, but also will get over halfway. It's going to be the 5 and last. Wouldn't surprise me if Haven trying to get it over the touchline here. Carter, no, they're going to put it high. Going to put plenty of pressure under Luke Cresswell out the back, and he's running back, collects it on the run there, does Luke Cresswell. The Raiders crowd appreciative of that, and the Raiders fullback will fetch the ball forward.
Safe hands, Luke. What is he, Graham?
Safer than a Swedish seatbelt.
Love it.
He takes the ball. It was a great kick chase, to be fair, from Whitehaven. He had nowhere to go when he made contact with that ball. He's taken the tackle around about his 10-metre mark. 8 minutes on the clock here at Craven Park on BBC Radio Cumbria. It's Raiders 0, it's Whitehaven 4, and it's Whitehaven that have got the tails up at the moment, keeping Barrow Hedge right back close towards their own 20-metre mark as it stands. Ryan Johnson tries to get something going now. Ellis Gillam a little bit quicker show and go that time. Takes the Raiders past the 30.
Had plenty of space on the right hand side there of the Raiders. Gillam didn't elect to use it.
Yeah, they've got some big numbers to try, setting up some shape on that far right hand side as Barrow edges a little bit closer towards the halfway line now. Dumped in the tackle that time. Our first little bit of a coming together here in the derby on the right hand side. Davis Finney quickly going to be calmed down, is it? Slowly it's calming down. Only a couple of players involved that time.
Seeing it in the NRL finals this morning, Canterbury and Manly. It was Daly Cherry Evans just come in. He was sort of 4th man and just come in and just grabbed the Canterbury man and just sort of threw him to the floor. Penalty wasn't reversed. You can tell it was finals football. Obviously, the referees will tell you it's not refereed differently, but big games and finals football, playoff football, whatever you want to call it, it definitely is, isn't it?
Yeah, they look at intent, and like you say, in Australia, they're just the way they commit themselves to the tackles, and it allows for a lot more there. They are a lot cleaner in the hit, I will say that. The under the shoulder blade.
8 minutes played here at Craven Park, and Barrow, being 40 metres away from the line, find themselves in their best field position yet. It's all been going in favour of Whitehaven on the back of 2 knock-ons from the Raiders team. And now Barrow find themselves at their own opportunity to get one back at 4 points to 0 here. Cumbrian derby winner takes all effectively. With just 2 to go this afternoon, we will keep one eye on that big one over in Swinton. They are up against Dewsbury this afternoon. I think most would expect a victory for Swinton against Dewsbury, and we'll keep you updated as and when the score updates come our way. As for here at Craven Park, Barrow find themselves 10 metres away, shifting that ball over towards that right hand side. Can they ground ball up ground in the corner? No, they cannot. The referee goes over to his touch judge. He takes a look. I think the fans are cheering around, the players are cheering around. Has he got the try? He has been given a try. The touch judge said no, but the referee said yes. The Raiders will take it. It's 4 points apiece.
Oh, that's controversial, isn't it?
That's getting moody over there.
That's controversial. Joey Romeo's having a word, and he's saying to the judge, "Sir, you put your flag up. Sir, you put your flag up." Referee Scott Michalowski's not interested in that. Said he got the ball down before he found touch. Whoa, your first controversial moment of the afternoon here in the Cumbrian derby, Grahame Dale.
Definitely there. I looked and I was sure that he'd gone in, scored the try. Then I seen the flag was raised. So initially the Haven players were all quite excited and animated, and then they awarded the try, which brought on a few tasty little gestures, let's say, of, is it sledging they call it?
Yeah,
it's brewing nicely, isn't it?
Probably something we can't repeat on the radio, let's be completely honest, but that's what you want. But Bullman there going into that corner, he was using you say it all so often, Dan, and both of you say he likes to use his aggression. He tried to bump off Callum Shaw there before getting the ball down, and I thought initially that had cost him, but the former Whitehaven man able to get into the corner. He's
I think he knew he was going into the wall if he didn't offer the defence for himself. And like you say, he did well to get the ball down. I was going to say, I didn't think the most important thing was for them to score. It's nice, but they needed to keep the ball up here, get a good setting, and likewise now another good set and try and get some field position, because like you say, Whitehaven have kind of had the territory in the start of this game in the first 10 minutes.
Ryan Shaw from the far touchline then gets that one right through the middle. 11 minutes on the clock, and the Raiders take the lead for the first time this afternoon. It was their first attacking possession inside the Whitehaven half. They've come away with a try. Andy Bullman back to haunt his former club. He goes in for his 9th of the season, and then off the far touchline, Ryan Shaw gets the extra 2. It's Barrow Raiders 6, it's Whitehaven 4. 12 minutes on the clock here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. And Graham, what a start.
It was a great kick there from Ryan, as we know.
Ryan Johnson leaves the kick to bounce dangerously. It then falls into the hands of Ryan Shaw, who's lost possession, and Whitehaven, just like that, get the possession back 5 metres away from the Barrow line, celebrating like they've just scored a try, and rightly so.
Fantastic from the Papua New Guinean, forcing the error. Did Dean Gebby, and Haven will have the scrum 10 metres out. Paul Crary will be ripping his hair out. His side weren't able to complete his first 2 sets, and then knock on first tackle from the kick-off.
Yeah, if anything that's going to do the Raiders, it is their own unforced errors, really. I mean, I know he was in a collision there, but they've made too many. 3. Is it? I think they've had about 6 sets and bombed 3.
So Hannigan will feed the scrum. Newton's going to come right into the hands of Joey Romeo. This is where the first try come from, coming down Haven's right hand side, the Raiders left, but the Australian's going to be wrapped up 10 metres in from touch, 10 metres out from the try line. Gebby's in there at dummy half, looks to go down the short side, does the Papua New Guinean and try and catch the Raiders out, but he wasn't able to. 5 metres out now at Whitehaven. Newton dives in at dummy half, goes towards the middle now with Hugh Worthington. The Raiders defence right on top, trying to get his arm 3. To be fair, Haven, I mean, while he's being pushed back there, I don't think he'll be too disappointed he's being pushed back a metre or 2, because they're giving some extra space to play in. Going to go left, he's Newton into the hands of Carter. Carter comes across then to Lucas Castle. Castle's going to be taken down 7 metres out to the left hand side of the post. Comes right back towards the middle of Ross Ainley, still searching for his first try in a Whitehaven shirt. He's Ross Ainley, and he's just going to be held up there a metre short. 5 and last. What are Whitehaven going to do here? Going to come right into the hands of Carter. Carter then finds Hugh Worthington. Ball hits the floor, picked up by Jared Stark, and the Kiwi could be away. Nearly gets away from Romeo, doesn't get away from Hannigan.
14 minutes on the clock then. Raiders back in possession. It's Barrow 6, it's Whitehaven 4, and it's Shane Toll bouncing off the huge shot there that came in from Gebby. He's been dropped down 30 metres away from his own line. The temperature sure is rising here at Craven Park this afternoon. You can tell it's a Cumbrian derby. We say form goes out the window. We thought there may have been an exception for this game, considering Whitehaven just about managed to find them loopholes and put 17 players in the squad this afternoon. I can't let it go, Jordan. I can't let it go. Barrow now then. Take that ball out to Ellis Gillam. Gillam drives through the centre. Drop down just shy of the halfway mark now as they're moving towards Josh Wood. He takes Barrow within 40 metres on the last tackle. Big kick to come against the wind. Will he go low? Will he go high? He's gone for the low one, Walker, edging it towards that right-hand corner, bobbling around, eventually collected. And now Whitehaven, 90 metres to go. And the ball's been lost. Ryan Johnson goes for the... now then. Ruled to have gone backwards by referee Scott Michalauskas. Dane Gebby dives on it, and Joey Romeo breathes the hugest sigh of relief you'll hear in the Barrow area this afternoon. The Australian fullbacks then being pushed back 2 or 3 metres here. Be Hannigan in there at dummy half. Comes across then to Owen McCarran. He's met there Greenwood and a couple of other Raiders defenders, Ryan Johnston being one of them involved as well. Newton in a dummy half, goes towards the middle now with Mark Walsh, who's coming off the opposite wing to try and take his side forward. He's taken down, 12 short of halfway. Hannigan looking for a potential 40-20 here, and if he gets the right kick on it, he gets the right kick on it. Now it's just all up to the touch judge here, where he decides that ball's gone out. 40-20 for Haven. Fantastic kick from Lachlan Hannigan, and fantastic, and it will be a tap restart, and Haven have momentum once more.
Yep, very well placed kick that. I was thinking they could have gone earlier in the game, but this definitely puts Whitehaven on the front foot.
Hannigan takes the tap, and Castle's now on the man to fetch it forward 11 metres out, just to the right hand side of the posts. Newton in there at dummy half, comes across then to Ross Ainley. Hannigan gets the offload away to look at Hannigan. Hannigan's over underneath the sticks. Try assist for Ross Ainley. Fantastic there. And the Australian goes over underneath the sticks. It's his 10th of the season for Lachlan Hannigan. And Haven retake the lead here at Craven Park. It's Raiders 6, Haven 8.
Yeah, great kick. All came from that 40-20. You know, it's a tactic that we often talk about here, Dan. I don't think the Raiders do it enough when they've got the wind in the back. And that's the proof of the pudding, really. They took that really well. Ainsley shot out there and had his supporting runner. Great try.
That was all about the offload for me. It was absolutely fantastic support play. That's like textbook stuff. If you're going to learn how to support a player, support your forwards, that is exactly how you do it.
It was such a quick play of the ball as well. That was crucial to it, yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with this Dane Gebby. He's a strong boy, isn't he?
Papua New Guineans normally are, aren't they? They said they're built out of granite.
Yeah. They're either strong, very strong, or absolutely very strong.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say something
so
else.
Did I.
It wasn't quite broadcastable. I was just about to knock your mic off.
That was the half-second delay.
Yeah, that was the
filter kicking in.
Yeah. You've got a filter. BBC Radio.
Sometimes.
BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. It's Raiders 6, Haven 8, and it looks like by Lachlan Hannigan, unless. And I've seen it before. I've seen them miss from right in front. I was at Keighley a few years ago when a Keighley player rattled the crossbar from 10 metres out. But barring something going massively wrong here, Haven should take a 4-point advantage. And they do. Hannigan knocks it right over the post here at Craven Park. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. There's almost a quarter of the game gone. Where's them 18 minutes gone? It's Raiders 6, Haven 10.
It sure is, but let's not forget here, I don't think most Raiders fans will be too disheartened at the moment. It's been an electric game. It's been a typical derby day. Barrow have only had the ball in the opening quarter of this game once inside that Whitehaven half. Whitehaven has jumped on the back of Barrow mistakes time and time again. A little bit of sheer brilliance on the 40-20, and credit where it's due. They've just done what they can. They've worked the percentages and they find themselves in front.
Ball bounces from the kick-off into the hands of Joey Romeo and then finds Lucas Castle, and Castle will be looking to fetch it forward. He's wrapped up 12 metres out. Carter dives in at dummy half. Newton still covering back from the kick-off. Mark Walsh once more fetches this ball forward, and Newton will dive in at dummy half. Curtis Tier obviously in the second row this afternoon, as he was last week, but obviously normally at home in the centre or wing berth. Ross Ainley now We've laid off that fantastic offload for the support from Lachlan Hannigan. 31 metres out now. Newton in there at dummy half. Goes down the short side with Curtis Tia. Tia bumps off his man, Luke Broadbent, and makes an extra 4 to 5 metres post contact. It's the 5 and last. Played ball was a little bit scruffy. It means Carter had pressured on the kick, and it's easy for Cresswell to collect, and he'll fetch it forward for the Raiders.
Yeah, Luke Cresswell takes that one just like he always does, and tunnels up towards the 30-metre mark. As Raiders now then slowly getting back. There's going to go one at rugby here as Shane Tulls almost found some space around Gebby before once again takes that strong tackle. 5 or 6 metres gain that time. We can see the surface of the pitch here. It's being torn to pieces now. We said it was a hard surface. It's got a lot of water on the top of it, and we can see all around certain areas at least. It's going to become from green to brown very, very shortly. Luckily for this game, the rain has died off now as Raiders make their way inside that Whitehaven half once more on the last tackle, 40 metres away. Josh Wood gets that one out to Johnston, dinks that one over the top, heading towards that left-hand corner. He's just going to find touch 5 metres away from the line, and we're finally going to get a bit of a respite, Graham.
Yeah, well, that's what they need to do. They need to string a few sets together without making the mistake, you see, because that's the difference between the teams at the moment. Whitehaven have just managed to shade it in completed sets, and they've had good ball as a result. So the Raiders now need to really, really strengthen up the defence, make sure they try and force the error and benefit like Whitehaven have.
Evans is now the man to fetch it forward, following the restart. He's wrapped up only 1 or 2 metres away from his own 10 metres. Joey Romeo now fetches it forward for the home side. Newton still out there in there at dummy half. Comes back towards the middle with the Welshman and the Welsh international Hugh Worthington. 26, 27 metres out. Centre Phil gone down again. Dean Gebby's coming and nearly broken through there. Has the Papua New Guinean. Joey Romeo was there in support but couldn't get his arm free. Newton's going to look to get the kick out of dummy half, and Andrew Bullman isn't back there. The angle isn't going to be on there for the 40-20, but it's a fantastic kick, and it means Andrew Bullman will have to pick it up from behind his own try line. Carter slips, but Shorten Walsh involved in the tackle, and it is 10 metres out. The Raiders will play this ball.
Yeah, it was a great early kick there from Whitehaven, just trying to catch the Raider defence. Well, split them in two basically. Bullman did well to collect that ball. He made sure he wasn't bobbling around before he picked the ball up, and now Whitehaven are all penalised for being offside. And I think at the same time there, as Walker picked that ball up, I don't know if any people noticed, he was bobbling along. I think he knocked it on, but the referee has called for the offside first, so it's one that Walker's gone away with. He's punted that one into touch. We're going to see an interchange now. Then it's going to be a double interchange for the Raiders. 2 former Whitehaven men coming onto the field in Tom Walker and Tom Wilkinson as Greg Worthington comes off alongside Ryan Brown. As back onto field now, Raiders find themselves 35 out, looking to take the lead once again for the second time this afternoon. Raiders 6, Whitehaven 10. Cresswell trying to bobble and weave his way through the defence, already on 9 tries this season. Now matched by Andy Bullman, but one of them getting to double figures this afternoon as Walker loved another try against his former team. Takes the Raiders to within 20. Shifting that ball towards the left hand side. Ryan Johnston's been absolutely smashed in the tackle there. The ball has come loose. Whitehaven regain possession.
Oh, McCarran lined up Ryan Johnston perfectly there, and Johnston didn't know what coming. Fantastic work from the Australian back rower. Joey Romeo looked to get the offload away, and he's now going to call held as Dean Gebby looked to get his offload away. Looks to be an interchange for Whitehaven. Sam Ackroyd looks to be the man that's coming onto the field. You'd imagine that'd be a straight swap for James Newton. It's going to be Joey Romeo has to dive in a dummy half while the interchange is being made. Goes left into the hands now of Carter following the play of the ball from Shaw. And Carter's going to take himself over the halfway line. Seems to be an arm round the neck of Jake Carter. I think he's just making that point towards the match official. Now Ross Ainley is the man to fetch it forward. Ackroyd is the change for Whitehaven and does replace James Newton. 38 metres out from the Raiders line now of Whitehaven. Lucas Castle is the man to fetch it forward, and he's going to be put down onto his front. 30 metres out, 20 in from the far touch line. Ackroyd going to go down that short side. Carter's looking to put the kick forward and trying to get him behind there, and he can get the offload away into the hands, bounces in the hands of Ackroyd, and it's going to be ruled a forward pass. Ackroyd has got it down. Referee Scott Mikalauskas has already called it forward. Raiders survive here and look to be in for the third of the afternoon.
I can kind of see it a little bit tactical here. They are playing them little short kicks round the back. It's happened time and time again, and they almost got the second try from one there. And I know, Graham, you picked up on it earlier on in your summary that this is the way they should be playing on this surface. They are playing that way, and it's playing to their advantage hugely.
It creates absolute pandemonium. When the ball's bowling around on the deck, nobody wants to try and pick it up. And just looking at that last Whitehaven kick, we went early. You kick it early, and it's not going to run dead. If you take another tackle, it might well run dead and give them a 20-metre restart.
16 to go until half-time, and once again Whitehaven penalised for being offside here, and they could become the world's worst enemies as Raiders look to get this one inside the Whitehaven half, somewhere they haven't spent too much time in the opening 24 minutes of this fixture, as Aaron Smith now comes onto the field to replace Josh Wood. That's 3 interchanges made in the last 2 minutes for the Raiders to look to mix things up going into the second quarter of this game. Smith gets his first taste of the action, then getting that ball out now towards this left side, through the back it goes to Cresswell. Cresswell's trying to find some space in that strong Whitehaven defence, is eventually stopped 20 metres out from the line. Played across to Johnston, to Gillam. Gillam's trying to turn in a tackle and try and see if he can get that ball away. He can't, so the tackle is complete. 15 metres out now then. Aaron Smith shifts that ball to Johnston. Johnston steps around one. Barrow are going to go in for their second try of the afternoon, and this time it's going to be James Greenwood, and call him Mr. Bombastic, because that was fantastic. 15 minutes to go until half time. It's now Raiders 10, it's Whitehaven 10, and it's game on once again.
I was just thinking to myself there, we need to see more from the halfbacks, more from dummy half. We need to take them up the middle of it, create a bit of space on the outside. And then, like I say, Ryan Johnson, just lovely, dropped his shoulder and had a supporting runner on the outside of him. Great try. Like to see him do a little bit more of that. Doesn't do enough for me.
Big figure of a man, James Greenwood, going in for his 5th of the season. It's going to be a simple conversion attempt to come shortly from Ryan Shaw. I did imagine Barrow could retake the lead any minute now, as Jamie Pye, who took a rest last week in that defeat to Toulouse, he comes onto the field, touted by Paul Crary as potentially the next Alex Walmsley. Let's see if we'll see a little bit of that this afternoon from Jamie Pye. Have you seen much of him yet, Graham?
No pressure there then.
None whatsoever. A couple of changes for Whitehaven as well. Lucas Castle and Ross Ainley left the field. They've been replaced by Noah High, and of course controversially Bobby Hartley, who seems to be the man that's obviously come in for COVID gate, as Dan Payne has coined it earlier this week on BBC Radio Cumbria. But yeah, what a Cumbrian derby, what a first half it's been. You wouldn't think both of these sides towards the bottom of the Championship. It's been fantastic, and this is what we always say about the Championship. Fantastic competitive rugby league action right throughout the division. It's very rarely you see any sort of major blowout scores, and they've only really come from Wakefield this season, haven't they? So this division on its day is the most competitive out of all three, and we're getting it out there this afternoon. Ryan
Shaw then, he will just lining this one up. He likes to go through his allotted 90 seconds that he gets to take these kicks. He's just left of the centre. It's currently 10 points apiece. We've got 13 minutes to go until the half-time hooter, as Ryan Shaw takes a long look in between the posts, puts boot to ball, and once again it's a Shaw thing from Ryan. I know Simon Clark listening at home, you'll be enjoying that one. It's now Raiders 12, it's Whitehaven 10, and for the second time this afternoon Barrow retake the lead.
Yep, retake the lead. I think they've equalled the momentum side of things up as well. I think Ryan Johnson will get a lot of confidence personally. I know he's just come back from injury as well, so he'll get a lot of confidence that for the second half. Well played, so let's just hope we have an error-free 10 minutes.
It's a great kick, and what a tackle.
Wow, what a shot from Dean Gebby.
Dean Gebby came absolutely flying in on Ryan Johnston there. Let me tell you, if he's the banger, then Johnston's the mash. That was a massive shot from Gebby. I'm even giving you some puns here, Jordan.
I don't want them. Keep them to yourself, though.
Whitehaven now, then, they may have gone back in this game by 12 points to 10, but their defence is on fire as Jamie Pye now is dragged to the surface. It's just past his own 20-metre mark. The ball has been left by Wilkinson, eventually picked up on that right hand side as the play shifts across, trying to find the hands of Bullman. Can Bullman find some space? No, but he can find the halfway line. That's a great 20 or so metres made that time from the Raiders on the last tackle now then, as the ball shifts across to Walker. Walker's gone to grubble that one through. He's been charged down. He's gone backwards.
I don't think so.
And now he's been knocked backwards again. Barrow regained possession.
Yeah, not played that, and it's going to be a turnover ball here for Whitehaven, 25 metres out from the Raiders line. Raiders have had a few, like, sort of, not last play options, but obviously they made them areas early doors, didn't they, Graham? And obviously that there, it's just them sort of final play options aren't just coming up at the moment.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of, I think personally, it's dogged them a little bit as the season's gone through. They're just that last end of set kick, just not quite got away properly.
Hartley to fetch the ball forward. Ackroyd's in there at dummy half, comes across then to Hannigan, out the back to Carter. Carter pops it back upside over McCarran nearly through there with a gap, but 10 metres out now of Whitehaven. Ackroyd comes right into the hands of Carter. Carter throws the dummy. The former Raider looking to get over against his boyhood side, but he's taken down 2-3 metres out, 4 at a push to the right hand side of the post. Ackroyd comes on the ground, Noah High runs onto it, and Haven and over. He's lost the ball there with the line begging as Noah High and Haven look to be in for their third of the afternoon. He's judged to have lost it over the line, so it will be a tap 20, and Ryan Johnston's too busy having an argument with Jared Stack to play the bird to get the tap in there, Dan.
He's a passionate man, is Jared Stack. I think he was just trying to make a point here to tap that ball and go. I think Johnson was waiting for the official. I think Stacky was trying to say that the official said go. Nevertheless, play is back underway now. Once again, Barrow looking for the penalty. The penalty is given. And to be honest, it was Barrow's mistakes earlier on in the half that were gifting the points to Whitehaven. But now it's Whitehaven's own penalties that are giving the points back to Barrow.
4 penalties in favour of in the Raiders, none from Haven so far. So while the Raiders' errors could come back to bite them, the penalty count could go for the Raiders as well.
Well, like you said, I mean, you look where they are now. They're going to be pressing the Whitehaven line. They need to get a good set of 6 and a good kick. If they don't score, a good kick away. Maybe even a repeat set. Look for something like that.
It's going to be a penalty. I think we're about to get. He's going to come back for the penalty here for the late hot shot. Get it out there eventually. A late shot on Brad Walker.
So Brad Walker then, he's won the penalty for the late tackle there, 30 metres away. All eyes go over to Paul Crary.
2 points.
Just going to take a look now and see what Paul Crary indicates he wants to do.
Steve Ray's already had 2 fingers up in the air, I think, to suggest they should be going for 2 points here, should the Raiders.
Yeah, so it's going to be Ryan Shaw then who takes that kicking cone. I'd say almost dead central with the posts. Pretty much. We're waiting for him to put the cone down on the floor as Jarvis Stack now is going over to complain with the official here in the middle. He always likes to have a moan about something, does the Raiders captain, and he has a right to do so. So Ryan Shaw then, it is going to be just off the 30 metre mark.
I think he might just be having a word with his players just to sort of calm down a little bit, just show a little bit more composure and try and sort of start to boss the game a little bit as it goes into the half time, and then in the second half, it's all on again, isn't it?
Kyle Amor is surely going to have a word with Whitehaven. I'll get the message out there about the penalty count. It's 5-0 in favour of the Raiders. The Raiders' discipline's been on point so far this afternoon in terms of even if their ball handling hasn't been at times, which has allowed Whitehaven to make some meterage at times. But Haven are giving Raiders plenty of metres by conceding 5 penalties, and a bit of a silly one there for the late shot on Brad Walker.
Ryan Shaw then lines this one up, takes all the time he needs. Steps up towards the ball from 30 metres out. It's a good contact, it's a good angle, and it's a good 2 points once again for the Raiders. It's a sure thing from Ryan. It's now Barrow 14, Whitehaven 10, as Raiders extend that advantage 8 minutes before the half-time hooter. And I mean, Graham, for you looking at it from a coach's perspective, and do you think they need to change much going into the final 8 minutes of this half, or just continue as it is, take no risks?
No, that's what I say, low risk. They don't need to play high risk. The 4 points up, there's 8 minutes on the board. They just need to take this ball, take the 6, and then put a good kick in.
It's a long kick off, bounces once again in front of Ryan Johnson, who's collected that ball. and credit to Whitehaven, they've been causing absolute nuisances with every single kick they've made, even from kick-off or from the end of set. Ultimately, the field position is what they're after, and they're keeping Barrow pegged back once again inside their own 20 as they now shift this ball out towards the left-hand side. Greenwood makes his way up towards the 30-metre mark. Try scorer this afternoon, as now the referee once again has blown his whistle. He's asking for Greenwood to go back all of half an inch to play that ball. Makes all the difference in the game. There's Wilkinson now driving forward right through the middle, trying to take Barrow inside this Whitehaven half. The big man, Jamie Pye, gives him a big slice as he goes into the Whitehaven's half of the field. It's going to be a kick from Walker now. That one's gone up high into the sun. It's going to be testing. The Whitehaven fullback has done extremely well there to take that ball and then take a massive shot from Johnston and Wilkinson and Shane Toll. Whitehaven restart off their own 20.
Romeo plays the ball. Hannigan finds himself in there at dummy half, and Rio Corkle has just come off the bench to replace Hugh Worthington. Looks like Owen McCarran's gone in at loose forward. Corkle in his usual back row position. Will Evans is now the man to fetch it forward. Tries to push off Tom Wilkinson, but Wilkinson and Johnston complete the tackle just short of their own 40 now. Whitehaven. Noah High back in from Warrington, of course. He's trying to be pushed back there by the Raiders defence. Tom Walker and Tom Wilkinson, both TWs there on top, as Bobby Hartley goes round the arm there of Jamie Pye.
It's a good job he went round, Nick. I don't think he'd have got back up otherwise.
Lachlan Hannigan's going to put the kick in on the 5 and last, and he's going to stay down. He's Lachlan Hannigan, waves it away, does referee Scott Michalauskas. Puts his head up now, does Lachlan Hannigan. Referee waved it away straight away, and the Raiders will be the man to fetch it forward here, Luke Cresswell.
I think Hannigan was showing his...
He's been watching Super League, hasn't he?
That wouldn't even got a BAFTA. I'm not going to say Oscar.
Watching too much football, I think, there, as Hannigan is... I mean, he's got to play for
unless he wanted a rest.
Well, he certainly got a rest, and he got told off by his teammates to get back in that line and get a move on, as now Barrow with Jared Stack, who gets an offload away to Walker. Walker's shuffled his way around a couple of challenges there as he creeps inside the Whitehaven half now. Raiders 14, Whitehaven 10. 5 minutes to go here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport as Jared Stack bursting forward, still driving with them strong legs up towards that 30-metre mark on the last tackle. Which way will Raiders go with this one? Going down the short side to Walker. Walker's dinked that one over the top, looking towards the corner. It's bobbling around. It's picked up nicely for Romeo, who's got a good chase though from the Raiders, keeping Joey Romeo right back in front of his own posts. Whitehaven got work to do.
Certainly have, and it's Hannigan who finds himself in there at dummy half. Callum Shaw comes in to try and help his forwards out, but he's wrapped up still short of his own 10 metres. It's now with Dean Gebby. We'll try and find broken Phil with the Papua New Guinean. He's trying to get a fast play of the ball, and referee waves it away. You could have given 6 or 1 or half a dozen of the other there. Potential knock on or a potential infringement. I think referee Scott Michalowski said just get on with it. McCannon's now the man taken down. Ackroyd comes across to Hannigan, looking for the 40-20 once again. It's got behind Ryan Shaw, but he's able to get back there and recover. Is the Raiders winger. It's a great kick from Hannigan, but Raiders not called out on that occasion. Hannigan and Corkill bring Shaw down.
And the great intentions. Why not go for the 40-20s? Barrow pumping them right back now. They're keeping them within 90 metres on the start of every single set. Graham, something you picked up on earlier on, something you wished you'd want to see the Raiders team do more often. Yeah. Especially in these conditions, just go for them 40-20s.
We seem to say it every week, because one thing we get consistently well here is wind in the second half, going towards the Duke Street end, and the 40-20s, if we go for them, even if you get two or three in a game.
Ryan Johnston now then, is he looking for a 40-20 of his own? Is he going to find touch? It's going to go out on the full. That's a silly mistake from Johnston, off his own 40-metre mark as well. He apologises to his teammates. Well, let's just hope, for a Raiders perspective, that with 3 minutes to go until the half-time hooter, he hasn't just gifted Whitehaven potentially some more points here.
Graham, I think he's saying what Hannigan's done in them previous sets, hasn't he? He's like, I need to try and do the same here, just not enough space on the short side, was it?
Yeah, well, I mean, on that occasion, he'd have been better off drilling it, using the slidey surface to his advantage. And like you say, second half, we'll come out and see if they do go for some early kicks or 40-20s.
McCarran plays the ball. Ackroyd goes towards the middle now with Carter out the back to Hannigan. Hannigan's then going to try and get through the gap there. He's Lachlan Hannigan. wrapped up by Stack. Brad Walker's involved there as well. Good to go to shell side once more, trying to go behind and trying to put Cresswell under pressure. That's really early in the set there from Whitehaven. Not the best play. They've tried it a couple of times this afternoon and it's almost come off of them on a few occasions. He did on one of them, but a bit too early in the tackle count for my liking there.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a wasted opportunity there. You could see what they were doing with the kick through. There's something that they've been working on and been doing for the opening half an hour or so of this game. That time it's just the timing seemed a little bit wrong. They can't be perfect every single time. I think it's an opportunity that's gone begging now with 2 minutes to go. They're going to gift the ball back to Barrow as Jared Stack takes a high tackle. Once again, Haven are going to be penalised here. I think this
6 penalties done. 6-0. He'll killing Kyle Amor.
Well, he won't be used to stats like that, will he? Just on that kick, you know, I think the space to try the kick would have run out if it had took another tackle or two, because they were only 4 or 5 metres out.
Raiders now then, just over 2 minutes to go until the half-time hooter find themselves within 40 metres, looking to extend on this 14-10 advantage that they currently have as Jamie Pye bursts through, gets a good offload away to Cresswell, who can't find enough space to take advantage of that one. Tom Wilkinson now then throws a big dummy, keeps going down himself, and he's stopped about 12-13 metres away from the line as the Raiders now shift this ball over towards this right hand side. Walker dinks it through. Who's going to be chasing it down? There's going to be no blue shirts there to take that one, and Whitehaven are going to collect it, play it just in front of their own line, and shooing out up the jumper stuff up towards a half-time hooter.
Jay Carter's going to be the man wrapped up with it. He jumped in at dummy half with Joey Romeo, play the ball. Ackroyd's in there now, finds Callum Shaw. Shaw gets away from one, trying to get away from Greenwood. He's not going to get away, however, from Shane Toll. He's run 40-50 metres laterally there rather than anything forward at Callum Shaw. Gebby chucks the dive out to dummy half, throws a dummy and gets the offload away. Ball then hits the floor, and that should be, I think, the last action of the first half. Oh, McCarran, don't think he might have been expecting the pass there from Lachlan Hannigan, but the gap was definitely on. The Raiders know there's not much time left in this half and have tried to form the scrum to get the clock stopped.
Yeah,
and there still isn't a 6-man in the scrum, because Johnston actually isn't there, isn't the scrum. And it is now clock stopped. Must be mere seconds left in this first half done.
Yeah, we're into the final 60 seconds as the Raiders now then may have one last chance before the half-time hooter, and Walker steps around the Raider Whitehaven defence. There goes a hooter. Play continues. Can they get that ball across? There goes a knock on. The referee will have no more of it. Ryan Johnson tries to take a drop goal attempt, but the referee has called that one back, and there goes the whistle.
I'm sure you'll be wanting it to be Whitehaven, Jordan. Barrow just need to control this ball, start well. Are you going to do a prediction? Have you done a prediction yet? Nobody?
I predicted Raiders by 30 points because I'm sick of guessing these tight games and it goes down to a drop goal because my heart can't take it, Graham. I mean, you're the guest summarising this afternoon. Do you want to make a prediction?
I think it's going to be 26-18 to the Raiders.
We'll soon see then. Raiders get this second half underway with possession on that far left hand side, sweeping the ball back across to the middles now then with another former Whitehaven man, one of 7 this afternoon, this team that have played for one or the other, Tom Wilkinson. As Raiders now going down the short side, Ryan Johnson looking for the 40-20 attempt, as he knows slightly got his angles wrong that time, so the ball bobbles up and it's going to be collected by Haven up towards the 30 already. First minute of the second half gone.
Joey Romeo is going to be the man that's wrapped up. 3 involved in the tackle. Cresswell, Johnson and Pye all involved. It'll be Will Evans now the man to fetch it forward. The Australian, who's also a Welsh international, played for Queensland, captain Queensland as well at his age group. Dean Greby is now the man to fetch it forward. The Papua New Guinean's just taken just over the halfway line, trying to get a fast play of the ball, but the Raiders are able to slow him down sufficiently, and Bobby Hartley is now the man to fetch his ball forward. I feel the game really changed when the big men of the Raiders come onto the field, the likes of Wilkinson and Walker and Pye and Haven just haven't had an answer with that so far. Will they do in this second half? It'll be Will Evans who's looking to play the ball. That is the held call from referee Scott Michalauskas. He's 32 metres away from the Raiders line. Comes back now to Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan's going to put the kick up there, and it'll be a Dean Gebby on the chase against Luke Cresswell, and able to just miss there. did the Papua New Guinea against Cresswell. He wasn't just in time for the chase, but he wasn't able to complete the tackle, and Cresswell able to get out from behind his own try line.
Like a steam train there, Gebby came absolutely flying in at Cresswell. Cresswell ducked as he taken the ball. That could have been an absolute game changer if it was a few inches either way, Graham. He could have took out your guy there.
Well, I reckon he'd have took it, because them Swedish seatbelts are designed to impact with mooses.
I love this version of Grahame Dale this afternoon. I really enjoyed it. Raiders now and up towards the 30 metre mark, still inside the whole half. Great defensive set that time from Haven, and it's now the last tackle. Walker's having to look for a 40-20 attempt. He's gone over the head of Carter. Is he going to hit all the way towards the touchline? He's going to go towards the touchline over the head of Callum Shaw, should I say. Never mind a 40-20. That was a 30-10. Unbelievable effort from Brad Walker, as now Raiders 2 minutes into this second half give Whitehaven a taste of their own medicine. They're going to play this one off that 10 metre mark. Callum Shaw is screaming at the touch judge for some reason.
Don't know why, unless I don't know, he didn't keep it in touch, he wasn't able to bat it away. But then
10 minutes.
And now the referee's going to go into his pocket here. Jared Stack was looking for a quick play of the ball. Whitehaven were not letting it happen. He had a quick word with the referee to see if he could play that one. And is it going to be?
It's 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah, just 10 done, yeah.
Just try to see who's going in for 10 there.
Joey Romeo,
the fullback, who's arguably one of the better players in this game so far. Then, so 3 minutes played of this second half. Raiders find themselves within 2 metres of the line, and Whitehaven, they're down to 12 men. Barrow now shift that ball over towards his left hand side. They've got numbers, they've got some spaces, they've got Ryan Johnston. Ryan Johnston gets over the line, but it's turned onto his back.
Just to confirm, it's not Joey Romeo that was simbing, it was Sam Ackroyd. I looked for it was Joey Romeo because he was in the face of referee Scott Mikalowskis, but it's the hooker Ackroyd who's seen 10 minutes.
So Sam Ackroyd then in the bin. Barrow then looking towards that left hand corner. Jaws music playing through the tannoys towards our left hand side, as Smith now stretches for the line. Smith is held up. Second time the Raiders have been over the line in the last 3 plays. Twice they've been held up over that one. Back towards the 10 once again. 4 minutes on the clock in this second half. Will the Raiders get another opportunity at these 12 Whitehaven defenders edging towards the post now, just towards the left hand side on the last tackle? Out towards the left hand edge, Ryan Johnson kicks it through. He's taken extremely well by Gebby on the floor as well. A lot of Raiders fans on that far side calling for the knock on, but it's very professionally taken by the PNG man, and Whitehaven get back underway.
Fantastically taken, and then the Raiders pin for offside.
Sorry, I seen him blow his whistle. I thought it was a knock on from Newton. Oh, it's all going on. Calm me down, Jordan.
Gladly.
Stick a fork in me, because I am done.
Jake Carter will put the ball into touch. He's going to find nearly 30 metres, 25 metres on that kick. There is Jake Carter, and Whitehaven just slow it down just a little bit. They know they're going to be without Sam Ackroyd for sort of the next 8 minutes, as it will be now, so they just need to ensure they keep hold of possession, turn over the ball, and ensure that the Raiders have got to come 90 plus metres. But it's now Hannigan in there at dummy half. Noah High is the man to fetch it forward. He's taken down 21 metres out from the Raiders try line. Carter in the middle, pops it up to Owen McCarran. McCarran's going to be wrapped up 11 metres out. Centre field, Hannigan goes right into the hands of Noah High. Takes it and elects to go himself, but it's a good shot on there. Jamie Pye and Tom Walker both involved there. Hannigan comes left into the hands then of Owen McCarran, and he throws the offload, and it's knocked backwards by Tom Wilkinson. The Raiders collect. He knew what was coming there, did Tom Wilkinson, and was able to pick the pocket.
Read that very well, and he was first there. He was Johnny on the spot, and the Raiders come away with it again. It'll be interesting to see whether they go early with a kick again.
Jared Stack now then with possession as Raiders go out towards Bullman. Try score in the 10th minute for the Raiders. He takes them to within the 20 metre mark. Still Whitehaven with just the 12 men. Ackroyd seeing 10 minutes. Could be an interesting opening 10 minutes of this second half, and Barrow really need to take advantage here. Starting from deep back inside their own half on this set, as Walker now gets that ball away as Whitehaven couldn't complete the tackle. Luke Cresswell moves inside the Whitehaven half, slides on his knees towards that 40 metre on the last. Out towards Walker once more. He's kicked that one over the top, heading towards that right hand corner. It's popped up nicely though for Romeo,
but he's met there by 3 Barrow Raiders defenders. Broadbent, Brad Walker, Ryan Johnston all involved there. It's still going, is it? And Romeo plays the ball now. Hannigan in there at dummy half and finds Callum Shaw. Shaw looking to fetch it forward, and he's going to be put down onto his front. Hannigan's in it at dummy half. Goes back towards now with Mac Walsh. Walsh trying to fetch it forward. 28 metres away from their own line. Tia with a little fumble, but able to collect. 15 short of halfway. Hannigan towards the middle now with Noah High. High gets round Jamie Pye, but he's met there by Tom Walker. Gets the offload away. Hannigan then finds McCarran. Raiders able to recover quickly, and it's now McCarran will play it on the 5 and last a metre short of halfway. Jay Carter might be better trying to find touch here. He's not going to be able to. Although Cresswell, I think he's going to be quite happy to find touch, and I'm quite surprised with that. I thought with 12 men, they wouldn't want the defensive line to reset.
I think what they're doing there is, I think that's what they spoke about in the sheds at half time. You know, they've got to control the game, take the game at their pace, let the ball go out. Let's get the defence set. It'll be our put-in, and we'll play away with the ball. I was just looking at the middles for Whitehaven there, Jordan, and they were really slow getting back. I think that big bench of Barrows could be starting to, maybe take its toll in this next quarter of an hour.
Raiders now then, back in possession, playing it off their own 20 with Shane Toll, who scoots that ball up, drives close towards that 30-metre mark. Eventually tries to get a quick play of the ball away. Cresswell looking for the runners, can't find a lead runner from Pye, so he's taking the tackle himself with the skull cap ripped off his head to boot. Shane Toll once again takes his second carry of this set, and this time he goes inside the Whitehaven half. That's a great carry from the Raiders centre this afternoon. Shane Toll as Tom Wilkinson, multi-award winning Whitehaven player of course at one stage, now in Raiders colours, takes Barrow to the 5th and last, where Walker's put that one up high towards the air stack. The leaping salmon is going to get underneath that one. He's managed to get his hand to it. It's gone backwards to Cresswell. Raiders have got the room. Raiders have got a Bullman, and it's the Bullman bust who goes in once again to haunt his former club. It takes him a double figures for the season. It's Raiders 18, it's Whitehaven 10. All aboard the Bullman bus.
Paul Crary will be so happy with that. Like you say, they had the initial scrum on their own 20 and then moved their way downfield. Good kick, like you say, the salmon, like you call him. He up and regathered the ball. Brilliant offload. And Bullman, he must have loved that. He's had a bit of stick over the few years that he's been at Barrow, especially from when he's been playing Whitehaven. He's had a lot of injuries. He'll love that moment. Fair play to the lad.
I think he signed in fine form when he came over to the club, and he has just been tarnished with injuries, physically and mentally. He's been taking time to get back to find his former glory form that he was so well known for at Whitehaven.
Well, it's opportunities, isn't it?
Of course it is, and now he finds himself top try scorer in this Raiders team. Double figures now for Andy Bullman.
He spent most of his first season, he seemed to go the opposite way to the wing that he was on all the time, with the one and only T. Ritson, wasn't he? And it's just how he was. He must have found that frustrating himself. But to get one over on your old teammates is always sweet.
It's a double for Bullman. How much would he love a hat-trick against his former team, as Ryan Shaw now on this far right-hand side lines this one up. This could double the advantage. 18 points to 10 as it stands, with the results in favour of Swinton at the moment. That'll move them on to 18 points. If it stays like this here at Craven Park, it'll move Barrow on to 19 points. Haven will still be sat in the bottom two on 16, as Jordan Weir alongside me here, shaking his head in disbelief. And I know we've been here time and time again. You've been there time and time again, Jordan. We'll just get through this kick shortly before I bring you in, because this could make a big difference. Every single point counts in the Cumbrian derby, as Ryan Shaw then starts that one left. It sweeps back onto the inside. It hits the post and it's through the middle. It's a sure thing for Ryan once more. It's Raiders 20. It's Whitehaven 10. Half an hour to go. Jordan Weir alongside me. Relegation dooming. How are you feeling with 30 minutes left on the clock?
Long way to go. That's all I'm going to say. There's a long way to go. We've seen it in Cumbrian derbies, Dan. We've seen Cumbrian derbies switch in an instant, haven't we? But there's a HIA board just gone up, so I'm not too sure which side that's for. Ross Ainley has come on the field to replace, it was Noah High, and I don't know if that was because there was initially an interchange board went up as well, so I'm not too sure with that, but we'll keep an eye on that one. Raiders play the ball.
Yeah, we'll try and find out exactly what's gone on there as Ellis Gillum looks to come back onto the field for the Raiders now. Then it's going to be an interchange shortly, and it's the last thing that Whitehaven want to see after it's gone 10 points down, to see Ellis Gillum, another man in great form, come back onto the field as the Raiders still inside their own half, shifting this ball out to Jared Stack. Stack's trying to find the spaces. He has found the halfway line. 29 minutes remaining, 10 points to difference. Stack looking for the penalty that wasn't given as Gillum comes back onto the pitch now. Then Jamie Pye comes off the field, fifth and last tackle. Raiders 35 metres out, getting that ball out towards the right hand side. It's a little dink kick over the top. It's taken well by Callum Shaw. 3 Raiders players chasing that one down. That could have gone anywhere, so credit when it's due to the winger Callum Shaw. Eases the pressure on this Whitehaven team.
And Mark Walsh is now the man to fetch you forward. Lucas Castle getting ready to come on for Whitehaven, reintroducing them bodies that started the game here is Kyle Amor, and I think that's where Whitehaven have struggled. You know, Barrow's able to bring Wilkinson, Walker and Pye off the bench, not really the sort of impact from the Whitehaven bench. But Kyle Amor will be hoping now that his starting forwards can make that impact, as Dean Gebby's now the man to fetch it forward. He's made 6 or 7 post contact meters there, has the Papua New Guinean. Sam Ackroyd's getting ready to go back out there as well. Owen McCallum's nearly through, looking to get his arm free. Is the Australian, but he's going to be wrapped up, taken down. It is the 5 and last, going to come down this left hand side. Carter's going to put the kick in. Hannigan's on the chase. Cresswell's able to collect, not too many in Haven colours around him, and it's going to be Ryan Short to fetch it forward, and he's taken down by the Haven defence.
Yep, did really well there, Ryan. You know, there's no reason why Luke giving it to Ryan, because it shifted the point of attack and meant his body didn't just take the punishment. Again, that last Raiders attack, I'd like to see them just be a bit more consistent and just run that ball through the try line and make Whitehaven deal with it. Maybe get a repeat set, build the pressure. Like I said, they've already got enough points on the board to win the game, so they don't want to be turning it over too easily. A little dolly kick over the top, if it comes off, they're brilliant. But most teams that we've seen here that do really well.
40-20 attempt once
Brad
more.
Walker's looked for the 40-20. Well, he's just stopped shy this time. He was pretty close to his own 30 metre mark. That one's had I'd say a little bit more pace, had a lot more pace than it was the first time around. And it's just gone dead, I'd say around about 25 metres away from the Whitehaven line. The Raiders were ready though. The kick chase was ready. The players are set in defence, and we're going to be back underway now with 26 minutes to go. Can Whitehaven find a way back into this one?
Ackroyd's back out there in a dummy half and got the pass away to Will Evans from the Ross Ainley player of the ball. Evans wrapped up 32 metres away from his own line. Dummied left, goes right, finds Rio Corkill, of course formerly of this parish.
Ball's loose.
And it is a loose. Is it going to be a penalty? It's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a penalty for the ball being stripped. Initially thought it could potentially be for a high tackle, but referee Scott Michalowskison says it's going to be for the strip. Only Whitehaven's second penalty of the game. Both of them come in this second half, and probably a much relieving penalty, because Lachlan Hannigan will put this ball down the field. You could tell the hesitation in my voice when he said he puts it down the field. He'll just have to wait there, because it was a bit close to Ryan Shaw, wasn't it? But it means Whitehaven will start 22 metres away from the Raiders line. Corkill's the man to take it forward from the tap. 19 metres out. Ackroyd's in there, comes back towards the middle now with Ross Ainley. Ainley gets his head down and fetches the ball forward. 11 metres out now of Whitehaven to the right hand side of the post. Back towards the middle once more with Lucas Castle. Comes across now to Carter, out the back to Joey Romeo. Romeo's going to try and find a gap there, but he's not going to be able to. He's the Australian fullback. 7 metres out now of Whitehaven. Ackroyd back towards the middle once again with Carter. Now Owen McCarron looking to get his arm free, McCarron, but he's taken down. 10 metres out, just to the left hand side of the posts. Goes right into the hands of Castle. This is going to be the 5 and last. You feel a repeat set minimum's needed here for Whitehaven. Going to come left into the hands of Carter. Carter's going to put the little kick in, and Brad Walker just kicks it dead for the goal line drop out.
Great kick. You know, that as an old half-back, that's what you love to see. You need a good dominant end of set kick, and that, you see Ellis Gillum, he was going to do one thing with that ball, kick it dead. So this is what Whitehaven have to do now, I believe, Jordan. They've got to keep building this pressure, and it'll play off in points eventually.
with things you don't like to see at these Cumbrian derbies. Hopefully nothing comes from it once again, but there's been a little bit of...
I think there's been something. I don't think there's been any issues. I think someone might have just fallen in the crowd and it's been come to referee Scott Michalowski's attention, so it's going to be that they're asking for physio assistance over in that side. There doesn't seem to be anything too much going on. Stewards aren't running to see, to break anything up, as an example. I think someone might have just hit the deck and they're just going to get some assistance, but it probably gives the breather that Whitehaven probably didn't want the Raiders to have. We'll run through some scores while this is ongoing. Nothing ongoing in the Super League this afternoon. In the Championship, it's currently Bradford 16, Batley 10, Dewsbury 12, Swinton 24, Doncaster 20, Widnes 8, Featherstone 6, Sheffield 12, Wakefield Trinity 16, York Knights 4. Drop down into the League One playoffs. Workington Town are out. It finished Midlands 24, Workington Town 22. Anthony Murray's side there fall out of the playoffs, and it's currently Rochdale Hornets 26, Hunslet 14. The loser of that goes to has the pleasure of hosting Midlands next week. The winner of that goes to Keighley.
Lots of action going on then this afternoon here at Craven Park. We have got a stoppage in play. We believe that there's a fan, we believe, has fell and hurt themselves behind the post, so they are getting medical attention. So the game is currently at a halt. In the nicest possible way. I was hoping that we weren't going to see a repeat of similar scenes that we seen this time last year.
Good Friday last year, wasn't it? Yeah. But Graham, this stoppage, who does this suit more? Does it suit Whitehaven, suit the Raiders better?
I think it suits Whitehaven. I think the Raiders had a lot of momentum going. They were geared up. They've got a 10-point cushion. I think they were looking to get add to that as well. So I think the Whitehaven now, they'll be looking to get this ball. I've forgotten who's got the ball now. Who's going to start with
it? It'll be a Raiders goal line
dropout. So they're going to take this straight into good ball. Anything that disrupts what was going on, if you're the one behind, is in your favour, I think.
Got to say a big hello as well to our listeners worldwide this afternoon, tuning in for this Cumbrian derby. Plenty of people have been getting in touch, including Christian, who's listening over in Leeds. We've got Adam and Brad, who are travelling back from Glasgow. They're listening via the app right through the speakers in their car. We've got Joe in Burnley. She's looking for a heavy bit of salad after that horrible defeat to her team Everton last night. 3-2 twice in 4 games.
Yeah,
did you see that?
3-2 twice. I heard it. I was on the way back from covering Workington Reds. I was at Matlock yesterday, working my way through Derbyshire. I think Everton were 2-0 up by the time I got back in the car, and then Ollie Watkins hits a double, and I still haven't seen it, but apparently the winner was an absolute screamer.
Oh, it was a worldie.
I haven't seen it yet. I went right to bed after right after I got back yesterday. Didn't watch Match of the Day on BBC One, but looks to be like the fan is going to be okay, and he's just being helped away to seek some further medical assistance. The applause comes from both sets of fans, supporters, players down there as well. Like I say, we do wish whatever has gone on there, we do wish them well and a speedy recovery, but it is going to be the Raiders will get this game back underway, but through a goal line dropout, and if everything goes well, it'll be Haven that fetch the ball back. 24 minutes, Graham, you still see the Raiders coming out on top on this one?
Yes, I do. Unfortunately, I just think that it's that bench that's taking its toll. Having said that, they've just had 10 minutes rest, the Whitehaven forwards. But I did believe at the start of the game that the game would be won and lost in the middle of the park, just because of the size of the bench. So I think, however, if Whitehaven score next, it's all on.
Game on again, isn't it?
Hannigan collects the goal line dropout on halfway. Ross Ainley's then the man to fetch it forward. Huge hit. It's it from Ellis Gillum alongside Aaron Smith. Ackroyd comes left into the hands of Lucas Castle. Stack and Wilkinson involved in there alongside Tom Walker. Ackroyd pointing which way he wants to go. Does he go that way? He does. He comes left into the hands of Carter. Pops it up to Curtis Tier. And Tier's going to be wrapped up 18 metres out to the left hand side of the post. Ackroyd scoots from dummy half and is going to make 10 metres there before being taken down. Couple of tackles left in this set. Carter's going to come down the short side into the hands of Romeo. Joey Romeo looking to try and get over there. He's the Australian. It's a 5 and last 2 metres out. Ackroyd goes back towards Carter. Carter's going to put the kick in. It's going to be charged down, and he bounces into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan. Lachlan Hannigan spins out of the tackle, and it's a fresh set of 6 for Whitehaven. Hannigan wrapped up 10 metres out. Ackroyd in there, dummy half, centre field. comes left into the hands of Owen McCarron. Third consecutive set that Whitehaven will have had now. Ackroyd once more in there at dummy half, goes right into the hands of Lucas Castle. Castle gets it away to Jake Carter. The post, I think, comes to the Raiders' saviour. Otherwise, Jake Carter was over against his former side. He rattled into the post, and I think that's just saved there. Tom Wilkinson got under there as well.
That was great play by Whitehaven. I've got to admit there was a big space either side of the defender, and they exploited it really well.
Goes right into the hands now of Lachlan Hannigan. Pops it back up to Will Evans. Throws a dummy once and twice, but it's been wrapped up as the Welsh international. The Raiders' defence doesn't seem to be creaking all that much at the moment, despite this being the third consecutive set. Comes across now to Ross Ainley. Ross Ainley still searching for his first try, and a Whitehaven shirt is taken down. It's another fifth and last. Comes left into the hands of Castle. Now Jake Carter. Carter's going to put the... he doesn't know what to do with it, Jake Carter. Got to come run across the field with it. Now back into the hands of Hannigan. Hannigan's going to put a kick towards the corner, and it's got to be too deep. It bounces. It's going to be offside there. Izzadine Gebbie at the kick. It just looked like it was going to be too deep initially, but it looked to take a wicked bounce. But Papua New Guinean is caught offside, and the Raiders survive.
Yeah, they'll breathe a sigh of relief there, John. Yeah, they were just half a metre up. I did look, but I thought I'll wait and see it unfold.
Every single set of this game has brought something to the table.
Yeah.
It's been utterly just pure brilliant entertainment from minute 1 to minute, but we're now 58 of the game.
I think if you're either of the coaches, you might have a different view to that.
Yeah.
They've both really been committed.
Ellis Gillum now then for the Raiders, driving forward, taking them to within 40 now. 20 points to 10 the scoreline in favour of the home team this afternoon, as Barrow trying to create some numbers with Greenwood on that far left hand side. He's dropped 20 metres away from the line. Will a try here be enough to put this one to bed with 20 on the clock? We'll never know. Fifth and last now then. Ryan Johnston is tackled in between the posts. Josh Wood gets that one out towards his left-hand side. Brad Walker was looking for the runners. He's going to be wrapped up by no fewer than 6 Whitehaven defenders. He's going to not be able to get that ball away, so it's going to be a turnover of possession. Whitehaven 5 metres off their own line.
Unless I missed a 6 again there, the Raiders have gone nearly 90 metres.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I don't think I missed a 6 again. Fantastic from the home side. Matt Walsh will play the ball now. Goes right into the hands of Joey Romeo. Hugh Worthington getting ready to come back on for Whitehaven here. I think Dean Gebbie looking for broken field. He's nearly through. He's just taken down at the last minute there. Was the Papua New Guinean. He's on his own 40 now. Goes down the short side into the hands of Rio Corkill. Corkill gets the offload away. Back into the hands of Dean Gebbie. Sidesteps 1, sidesteps 2. And he's taken down. It is Rio Corkill that'll be leaving the field. It'll be Hugh Worthington to come back on. Ackroyd. Long pass to Lucas Castle. Looks to throw it himself, but takes it. We're at the hour mark here at Craven Park. It's Raiders 20, Haven 10. 5 and last. Comes left into the hands of Carter. Carter puts the kick high. Cresswell's going to get underneath him, but there's plenty of Haven chasers there. And he's knocked. I thought he'd knocked on Luke Cresswell. Fantastic work. What's that, Dill? Safe as a Swedish seatbelt?
Yes, absolutely, old chap.
I could feel the hatred in Graham's eyes then.
Hatred's
how
such a strong
dare you
word.
suggest he knocked
There
off?
was just a little fumble though, but he done well to correct it and catch it before he hit the floor, did Cresswell.
Yeah.
I don't think knock-ons and Luke Cresswell come under the same vocabulary, did he, Graham?
No.
Jared Stack now then for the Raiders. Takes them past that 20 metre mark, still deep inside their own half. Whitehaven are showing some massive spirit here, the spirit that got them through that game over in Dewsbury just a few weeks ago with just 14 players on the pitch. You can see that never say die attitude as the fifth and last now for the Raiders, but they're still going to play this one over towards that left hand side. Green was looking to get an offload away. He does. Barrow still just now creeping inside the Whitehaven half with a kick that comes away, but it's going to go quite easily into the hands of Romeo, who's got that one away to Callum Shaw. But it's a massive tackle from the Raiders. Luke Broadbent it was, and Whitehaven get back underway.
Mark Walsh now the man to fetch it forward. Noticed that Gebbie had dropped back there, and that's why the Raiders were looking to play. Fantastic effort from Tom Walker and Ellis Gillum, of course, 2 former Whitehaven players against the former side. And there's another one now in Luke Broadbent. It's hotting up here at Craven Park, BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online.
Here it is! Here it is! Ryan Johnson's done it! He puts his arm up to the crowd. That's the game, set and match right there. It's going to be Raiders 26. It's going to be Whitehaven 10. It's all kicking off in the background. No one else really cares. 26 points to 10 with 18 minutes to go. Ryan Johnston going in for his 4th of the season. It's still kicking off in the middle of the pitch. This is a Cumbrian derby right in front of our eyes right now.
That could be game over, but it could be several player games over there as well. There's punches being thrown, and depending on what the touch judges and referee have seen, we could be seeing yellows, maybe even reds out there. But it was just pick your pocket time from Ryan Johnston, wasn't it? The pass from Ackroyd, and he's right in underneath the sticks. Grahame Dale.
I mean, you got to give credit to Ryan there. He was in the right place at the right time, finished it off. But the shenanigans that we had backfield here, I think there was just a little bit of animosity going on, being spread, and some frustration from a couple of players about the fact that they may well be out of sight now. I don't know. But we'll just wait and see what comes of this.
While we're waiting for the officials to have a word here, I just want to go back to the heavy presence defensively from the Raiders there. That's where the initial effort came from. Whitehaven were doing the best to throw that ball around and keep it alive. They have to keep it alive. Ultimately, the defensive pressure caused the error. Johnston jumped on top of that loose ball, went in for that try unopposed from 30 odd metres out. Now the referees and the officials are having words. They're calling over players. And like Jordan just said, we could be seeing people in the bin here. Jake Carter's being called over. Jared Stack's being called over.
I think he's calling captains out. I can't see what's going on there. I'm going to put this on report. That's what I think he's going to do.
Yeah. I think you might be right there, Jordan. The game took off in the other direction so quick. You know, the referee's probably...
But it'll be interesting as well, because the camera's got to follow the ball. Has the camera seen anything? So you're not going to see anything on report, and it could be whatever happened there. He has given the 4 points already, as referee Scott Michalowski, so it is definitely 24 points to 10, and Ryan Shaw is just standing there in front of the post. We'll have an opportunity to add an extra 2, and Whitehaven have got Mount Everest to climb now to get back into this game.
I think that's good. I think that's good game management from the referee there, because he's he's obviously had a word with the captains to calm things down. Nobody wants anybody sending off with 20 minutes to go, and like you say, he's not seen anything, and neither touch judge has give anything to put on report. So let's just get on with the game. I do think if Whitehaven have got a way back into the game, Hannigan is probably the player that looks like he could sort of set something up or just do something a little bit different. He's all action, sort of box of tricks type of player, isn't he?
Steve Marshall tuning in from Philadelphia. Worldwide coverage here. Darren Fawcett in Bali. They're all coming in now.
Christ, Bali. Didn't realise they had phones in Bali.
And I'm sure this result...
I'm sure he was in the Alfred 3 weeks ago.
I'm sure this result is making their afternoons a little bit brighter, because here at Craven Park, it's a sure thing. Once again, it's Barrow 26 now, Whitehaven 10, 18 minutes to go. This will take Barrow on to 19 points in the table, propelling them 3 points ahead of Whitehaven with 2 games to go. Never say never, because we've kind of tried to predict these for year on year, and we always get it wrong. We've seen Whitehaven at one point minutes away from relegation, and things can turn on a heartbeat, Jordan.
Certainly can. It's not going their favour at Dewsbury, however. It's Dewsbury 16, Swinton 28. Carter with the kick-off, looks to go short, has gone the 10.
This one could go anywhere. It's going to be popped up.
Knock on
in a Raiders shirt. Knock on against Barrow. Ryan Johnston is furious. He needs to calm down to make... I mean, I've still got a feeling after what's just happened in the middle and nothing's come from it apart from an on report, there could be still more to come.
Could be fireworks here, couldn't there?
Yeah, I can really see it.
Whoever's going to be the first man to take the ball in here, you might be prepared to get 3 or 4 defenders piling on the top of you.
I can't blame the officials for putting it on report, because they have to follow the play of the ball. It was play on. Ryan had to go through the sticks to score the try.
Is that a knock on?
I think it just got caught in the scrum, so they'll reset it. But yeah, Whitehaven need are living dangerously here. This is their final, last chance saloon.
I mean, quarter of an hour's a while, but if they're going to score, they're going to have to get in the game, they're going to have to score quick.
Mac Walsh will be the man to fetch it forward, and he's going to be pushed back a metre or two. Ackroyd's in there at dummy half. The 25 metres out, 10 in from this near touchline here at Craven Park, and Worthington is the man to fetch it forward. And there's the 4 defenders you would expect it.
Yeah, yep.
20 metres out, goes right now into the hands of Carter. Carter out the back to Hannigan. Hannigan now finds Joey Romeo, finds Will Evans. Pushes the man off there, does Evans, but slips on what is still a greasy surface here at Craven Park. 5 metres out now. 6 again. First 6 again for Haven this afternoon. Looks to go down the short side. He's going to be pushed into the touch. Ball comes back inside. And Dean Gebby's going to be pulled down just short.
Has he got that ball? He's got
it down. He's got it down as Papua New Guinean. Initially thought he was short, but he looks to have been able to get over. He's second of the afternoon. He's 8th for the season. Whitehaven hit back. Raiders 26. Haven 14.
It's good effort there by Whitehaven, and like you said, Gebby, he's been a handful this afternoon, hasn't he? We said he'd have to get a quick try, they have, so let's just see how it goes from there. For quarter of an hour to go, there's plenty of time.
Plenty of play for him, isn't it? I imagine there's going to be another short kick-off.
You think the Raiders are going to go short?
I think they're going to go short, personally.
No, Jared Sammett's not here anymore. They'll go long and they'll defend that ball down. Well, if they don't, well, defies belief. I will say though, their end of sets still have been not consistent. They've dropped the ball. They haven't got the kick away properly. You know, moving forward, that sort of game management is crucial. And they struggle sometimes with that game management.
Big kick to come, I'm guessing, by the ironic cheers from the Raiders fans. That one's going to go wide. It is going to go wide. It's still 12 points the difference. Whitehaven need 2 converted tries just to bring this one level. They've got 14 minutes to do so. Their potential championship status for 2025 hangs in the balance here.
Scores from elsewhere. Bradford 16, Batley 10. Still going to go to Batley next week of Whitehaven. Dewsbury 16, Swinton 28. Doncaster 24, Widnes 8. Featherstone 6, Sheffield 20. And it's Wakefield Trinity 16, York Knights 4. Ryan Shaw will get the game back underway. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. Worldwide, as we've heard from this afternoon. Carter collects the kickoff. It's now Noah High who's back out there following his HIA, so past his HIA. Has the young Warrington Wolves loanee. Carter in there at dummy half. Now comes to Joey Romeo. And Romeo, Raiders pinned for offside.
They're living dangerously, aren't they? Even though they've got that lead. Paul Query will be pulling his hair out. I thought I was going to have to catch that ball for a second there, Dan.
I've just...
Hannigan finds touch. Walsh takes the tap. Tia takes it to just over halfway here for Whitehaven. Newton in there at dummy half. Goes back out now to Ross Ainley. Newton just come back on the field to replace Sam Ackroyd. The Whitehaven captain's back out there. Can he lead his side forward here? Hannigan pops it back up to Noah High. 25 metres out, in line with the right hand side post. Comes left into the hands of Hugh Worthington. The Welsh international's taken down 15 metres out, just to the left hand side of the post. Newton scoots from dummy half, pops it up for Noah High once more, and he's put down onto his back. It's the 5 and last, the 5 metres out. Comes left into the hands of Carter. Carter then over the top to Callum Shaw, and it's going to be come off a Raiders man. I doubt it's going to be played at. I imagine we're going to have a turnover ball here, and we are. Raiders will play it 10 metres out.
Again, game management here. They just need to, no panic, just really get these middles in, take this ball up, belt it as far down the field as it'll go, and chase it down, try and force the error again.
12 minutes on the clock then here in this Cumbrian derby, this do or die matchup in terms of the championship for next season. 26 points to 14 in favour of the Raiders. Raiders back in possession. They don't have to do anything silly now. Then they just need to go through the motions, get through these sets. The game is already won if they can just go through the basics in this final 11 or 12 minutes. As Ryan Brown back onto the field, Tom Walker, former Whitehaven man of course, comes off the field now. Then as Barrow on towards the halfway mark with Josh Wood, gets that ball out to Gillam. Gillam, a little bit of a show and go to Wilkinson. He's been driven backwards though inside his own half. He's got an offload away to Cresswell. The tackle is then completed. Raiders have lost 10 metres in that drive.
He's struggling there, does Ellis Gillam. I think he's dislocated his shoulder.
Yeah, he can't get his arm off the floor there, can Ellis Gillam. He's asked for the referee to stop the play. The physios are coming flying onto the field now then. A concerned look to our left hand side from Paul Crary as Ellis Gillam, one of his star men, still struggling to get off his back, as he's now his right arm is dangling down towards his right hand side. If it was a dislocation, I'm sure.
Well, it is. The physio's popped it back in and the doctor's okay, but it just looked like it was just dangling his arm there and he's still struggling. Well, if ever it did.
Is it just me?
You've got to say, yeah.
He was prostrate. The man in red touched him and he jumped up like a greyhound.
Walker kicks that one right down the middle and he's bobbing around. It eventually pops up into the hands of Romeo, who's give that one away to Callum Shaw. Callum towards his right hand side. Massive tackle from the Raiders. Whitehaven restart on the 20.
Gillam does leave the field, so whatever it was isn't sorted. Lucas Castle's getting ready to come back on here for Whitehaven. It'll be the final interchange for Whitehaven. Will Evans plays the ball. Hannigan's in there at dummy half. Carter now finds Curtis Tier looking to come back inside. There is Tier. And it'll be Noah High leaving the field to be replaced by Lucas Castle. Curtis Tier is the man that's fetched down just short of their own 40. Joey Romeo now is going to scoot from dummy half. And he makes 8 or 9 metres doing so. Does the Australian fullback for Whitehaven. 2 metres short of halfway. We're into the final 10 minutes here at Craven Park. Comes across now to Hugh Worthington, trying to get his arm free, but Josh Wood on his 150 career appearance just keeps hold of the arm. It's the 5 and last. Comes left now into the hands of Carter. Carter puts it high into he's the sunny sky now here at Craven Park. And Cresswell's underneath it once more. Shaw was in there. Walsh was in there, trying to put Cresswell off. But he's able to collect his Raiders fullback.
And Graham,
fantastic. You just got to admire it, haven't you, really? You know, I mean, some of them skills that he's got, you can't coach. He's got natural balance. He catches the ball a metre off the ground, you know. Just so good at what he does.
Into the final 9 minutes here then at Craven Park. The scoreline still remains Raiders 26. Whitehaven 14. It's Barrow in possession. 60 metres they need to go downfield to put any more sort of points on the board as Shane Toll is tackled around the halfway mark on the last now as Josh Wood looks at his options. He finds the option of Walker. Walker's put that one up high. Thundering ball, testing Romeo again, who's done extremely well as Joey Romeo. He's done well all afternoon, to be fair.
He's been wrapped up just short of his own 30 there. Dean Gebby now looking to try and fetch it forward. He runs powerfully, does the Papua New Guinean, but then 4 Barrow Raiders defenders stop him and dump him onto his back. 12 short of halfway now at Whitehaven. They really are in this last chance saloon, and who's the man that runs right up? It's Jared Stack. McCarran, and it's going to be an incorrect play of the ball. Try to get up and get a fast play of the ball, but hadn't earned that right. And it's going to be a scrum down, head and feed or turnover ball to the Raiders. And I think that might be game, set and match here to the Raiders unless Whitehaven can come up with something magnificent in the final 8 minutes.
Yeah, 8 minutes left on the clock. Raiders in possession in absolutely no hurry to get this one underway. As Jared Stack has a word with his fullback Luke Cresswell there. Maybe just trying to set something up.
Just need to control this game now. Like I say, they've won the game points wise. They just need to go through the motions, go through the process, get to the 5th and get it off the island, and then restart the game with a good structured defence.
Graham, do they go for one?
The Raiders, yeah, I wouldn't put it past them, or a penalty if they got one, because that would make it 3 scores they'd need. Am I right? Yeah.
We will soon see then. Raiders 25 out now then. Get that ball out to Jared Stack. Takes the Barrow team to within 20 of that Whitehaven line. 7 minutes on the clock. 12 points the difference. Jaws playing through the speakers
here. I must admit, I'm liking that.
See, I don't like it. I don't know whether it's just because of the occasion, but I'm not a big fan.
10 metres to go now, and out towards this left-hand side.
Oh, wow!
It's going to be Walker!
Wow.
Walker takes the drop goal.
It doesn't make a difference.
And there's going to be a scrap on the 10-metre mark. We said there was going to be more in this one. They said there was going to be more people fighting on the field, and here he comes.
I think it's Greg Worthington, Noel McCarran. I'd imagine, as you said, Graham, I think we're about to see 2 red cards. Yeah. I don't know who threw the first punch.
Well,
I think it might have been Worthington, just might have been. But I think we're about to see 2 red cards, and these sides finish the game with 12 men each.
Yeah, that was definitely 2 lads who decided, well, let's go at it.
Well, the drop goal was good, but it hasn't been given because the referee must, I assume he's put whistle to mouth.
Depends who was the aggressor.
I still don't think he gives the one. I think he gives a penalty for either side, which way it is.
Yeah, it is.
But it was McCarran and Worthington, I think, stepping toe to toe, wasn't it? Worthington on that Monday night here a few years ago. That was
against Hakim Malouni.
Against on that occasion. So the Raiders seem to think it's going their way.
Penalty,
yeah, they seem to think it's going their way. They're calling for 2.
I did see a jab, a very straight jab, and then I did see a blue return.
Yeah, I'm
right
not
hook.
I just seen the hook from Worthington, so I'm not too sure who it was first. But it seems to be the Whitehaven man that's getting called out to McCarran, so I imagine he's about to see red here. He's Owen McCarran, and that's probably his season over. Owen McCarran. I'd imagine Greg Worthington's about to follow, I'll be completely honest, but you imagine it looks like it's going to be a Raiders penalty. They'll sort over the 2, and it'll be 3 scores that Whitehaven need.
Here comes Greg Worthington, then he approaches the referee. The referee goes into the pocket, and as expected, if he can get the card out, he's struggling now. He was in his hand a second ago. Red card for Greg Worthington.
Well, both captains were warned earlier, weren't they, in the half? He didn't pin anybody at that point, so you've kind of bypassed, go past go, don't collect 200 and all that.
So it's going to be 12 against 12 to finish off the final 7 minutes of this game. Ultimately, though, it's which way did the penalty go?
It's gone to the Raiders.
So it's going to be a 2-pointer for Ryan Shaw, and it's going to be these 2 points that will secure the 2 points in terms of the league table for Barrow Raiders. We weren't too sure if it was going to come from that Ryan Johnson try, but we're going to be sure with this one. 3 scores needed at least from Whitehaven in the final 7 minutes. They'll have to do that with no Owen McCarran now, as he's seen red alongside Greg Worthington.
I must say, Dan, you know, in Greg Worthington's defence, if you receive a direct punch to the, you know.
I mean, we're not excusing it, but it's understandable, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You can't excuse it, but
you've got to give one back.
It reminded yourself of the Good Friday derby, Wigan Saints, all them years ago, and they were just standing in the middle, going toe to toe with each other.
It's a Shaw thing once again. Ryan Shaw with the 2 points in the bag. Raiders with the 2 points in the bag. It's Barrow 28. It's Whitehaven 14. 6 minutes to go. It will move the Raiders on to 19 points now. Swinton with their victory this afternoon against Dewsbury will move them on to 18 points. Whitehaven and Dewsbury still remain in the bottom 2. Haven on 16, Dewsbury on 2. Haven's remaining fixtures against Batley and Halifax. All eyes on them 2. Never say never, Jordan Weir, but it's been done before. It's been done before, and I'm sure they can do it again. Short kick-off from Whitehaven hasn't paid off, so Barrow are going to get possession back inside their own half as we go into this final 6 minutes.
And I must say as well, from a coaching point of view, you would want your players now to just keep a level head, don't get sucked into anything, because you don't want to lose any players, because you've got a big game next week and a big game the week after. I'm sure they think they could take Widnes.
The championship bands don't come into the week after, so you're only losing and going to lose. Whoever you do lose, you're losing for that Widnes game.
Right.
At which point, Raiders might be safe.
Yeah.
Tom Wilkinson now then for the Raiders, up towards the 30-metre mark. Final 5 minutes of this Cumbrian derby to go. Ryan Brown back onto the field a few moments ago. Good drive from him.
I think you'd rather have a full complement for Widnes at home, wouldn't you, than Wakefield. In many ways, you can discount Wakefield.
Jared Stack's lost the ball there in possession, so it's going to go back to Whitehaven, who are going to start this set off their own 10. Lots of work to do, and it starts right now.
Romeo in at dummy half. Mac Walsh plays the ball. Callum Shaw's the man to fetch it forward. Ryan Brown hits him, and Jared Stack completes the tackle. Hannigan's in there at dummy half, 12 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Worthington.
Great defence. Strong. Luke Broadbent.
Worthington will play the ball 20 metres out.
It's
going again here. Coming down the short side. Carter now finds Callum Shaw. Shaw gets the ball back inside into the hands of Mac Walsh.
There's fists flying everywhere in the Cumbrian derby.
Newton scoots from dummy half into the hands of Worthington once more. And Worthington's going to play this 42 metres out from the Raiders line.
And again, he's at it again.
He's at it again. He's Worthington and Walker. Goes right now. Hannigan's looking to put the kick in, and it's going to be bounces everywhere, left, right. Not too sure if it's a knock on, if it's an OK. And it's going to be a knock on, I think, from the Raiders. Worthington's at it again now with Luke Broadbent. And just waiting to see. It's going off all over the place here, and it's going to be a penalty to Whitehaven. I'm not too sure why, but Hannigan's going to put it into touch. 4 minutes to go. Surely it's far too little, far too late here for Whitehaven. They need to score. They need to score now. It's Ross Ainley, the man who fetches it forward, and he's pushed back, dragged back to his the Raiders 20 there. Newton's in there at dummy half. Comes left now into the hands of Lucas Castle. Castle finds the floor. 10 metres out. Newton pops it up to Worthington once more. And Worthington's going to be put down onto his back. 5 metres out of Whitehaven, right in the shadows of the sticks. Goes right into the hands of Hannigan. Hannigan then finds Will Evans. Evans is going to be wrapped up. Good defence from the Raiders.
Shane Toll's defence has been on it all afternoon.
Yeah. Romeo's in a dummy half now. Doesn't know whether to go left or right. Has to go himself, does Joey Romeo. He's going to be pulled down just short. 5 and last. Comes left into the hands of Hannigan. Hannigan then finds Curtis Tier. Tiers can't drop it, take it correctly, and it's going to be a knock on. And that surely is all she wrote now. Haven aren't getting 14 points from here. Raiders will take the Derby Day spoils and potentially send Whitehaven down to League One.
2 minutes to go. Raiders 28, Whitehaven 14. It's going to be an interesting final 2 fixtures of the season for all these teams involved at the bottom. We still not yet to know if there could be a points deduction coming Halifax's way. Could Whitehaven's bacon be saved in that respect? We'll soon see in the final few weeks of this championship campaign for 2024.
You don't want to stop up that way. The Whitehaven haven't deserved it if they don't stay up. You don't want to stay up that way.
It's going to be a very, very slow play of the ball here then from Broadbent as Barrow now then play the one up the jumper rugby.
Whitehaven's going to be down to 11 here. They've used all injury changes and Ross Ainley is limping from the field. They have used 8 from 8.
That's a massive tackle on Josh Wood. The ball was bounced backward, eventually collected by Wilkinson. Wilkinson just trying to find some space. No need to try and find the runners.
You just need to see the game out. Just play the game out and kick the ball long.
Shifted across towards the centre once more with Ryan Brown this time. He's brought down on the last now. On the halfway, Josh Wood out towards Walker, back on the inside to Cresswell. Can Cresswell find the space? Cresswell's kicked it over the top. This could be try time for the Raiders. It's gonna be Lane Foreman and put him in a Bond film because he's left his opponent shaken and stirred. That is it. Lick it and stick it. Raiders are staying up. Over to you, Graham.
Oh, how can I follow that? I don't even like James Bond. Yeah, so they, like you said, they broke through really well there. Luke Broadbent scored the try eventually, but again, it was my, by the way, Dan, BBC man of the match, Luke Cresswell, that made the initial break, and he put an absolutely highly intelligent kick off the outside of his right boot, Messi-esque, and Luke Broadbent gladly swallowed it up and scored the try. 32-14 with the kick to come.
We've seen sheer brilliance from Luke Cresswell, Graham, year on year, and I know you've blown the Luke Cresswell trumpet year on year. He's just
with a reason,
but he seems to just offer something else the further and further he gets on in his career. He broke there for the sticks. He's angled his run towards the left-hand side. He had defenders surrounding him, and another part of Luke Cresswell's game we haven't really seen over these years was almost Jamie Dallimore-esque of years gone by. Kicked that one off the wrong side of his boot purposely to find a runner in Broadbent with nobody around him. It was absolutely brilliant.
He's such an underrated player. I don't mean by Paul Cresswell or anybody in Barrow, but I think in general. But his armour he's got. He can play up the middle. He supports up the middle. He can make breaks up the middle. He does his own job impeccably, as we've seen again today. Even if he hadn't just done that,